Boise housing market has hit the wall. Inventory is up, and showings are down, down. And even the most confident of sellers are wondering, did we miss the window? Did we miss our opportunity to sell our home for top dollar? Well, let's talk about that in this video, so let's go. But first, my name is Greg Langham. I'm an associate broker here in the Boise, Idaho area, which means I can help you buy and sell real estate. So if you're thinking about coming to the Boise, Idaho area, pick up the phone, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email so that we can connect and put a game plan together that's right for you. And for a long time, I have been watching this Idaho housing market. I have been seeing the surge. I was here for the surge, and now I'm starting to see the cool down. I'm starting to see people start to panic, thinking, oh my gosh, we weren't planning on being in this house, we're planning on buying it, and then, kind of riding that equity and selling it. Now what do I do? And so for the longest time, we've seen that appreciation go, as Idaho was such a great place, and still is, for people to come to. But now we're seeing a complete shift. We're seeing a massive cool down, especially as we head into those winter months here in our market. So what does that mean? What does that mean for you as someone watching this channel right now, considering making a move to Idaho? And what does it mean for you as a homeowner who's watching this channel thinking, shoot, did I miss it? Can I sell my house? Am I underwater? We'll talk about that right now. Right now, Ada and Canyon County are seeing record high inventory as far as days on market. Some of the highest active inventory levels we've seen all year. Homes that went under contract in a week this spring are now sitting for like 30, 40, even 60 days. We've seen price reductions increase once again, and sellers are starting to make deals, offering closing costs, rate buydowns, upgrades just to keep buyers interested. I mentioned last week's video, for the first time I've seen in years, first time I've ever seen in Idaho where a seller was saying, hey, we will pay your closing costs. We'll pay part of your closing cost, buyer, if you buy our home. Guys, I haven't seen that in such a long time. I was shocked. Well, because the rates are high, because sellers are sitting and they have to move, homes that are vacant, those sellers need to wheel and deal. If your home is vacant and you've already moved, you've got to position your house very aggressively in order to get that property moved. And a lot of the realtors don't have the cash or capital to stage it for that whole long period of time, so it's gonna look pretty empty. So what you have to do as a seller is you have to offer some sort of credit, some sort of negotiation tool that will get buyers into your home. And if you're a buyer looking at vacant homes, this might be your window of opportunity to get the seller to give you some closing cost credit to help with that down payment or help with that rate buy down. But like I said, this is like, we have not seen this before here in the Boise, Idaho area. It's always been like bidding wars or above asking or at asking price, or, it's been so competitive. So to see this cool down, it's taking the sellers a little bit, kind of by shock a little bit, not shock, but just kind of like, hey, what's going on? This was such a booming market. Now we're softening a little bit. So it's really interesting to see that happening right now in our market here in the Boise, Idaho area. And that all makes sense because after such high interest rates at 6%, we got up to 7%. Now we're down, and hopefully we can get back into the 5%, upper fives. But after those interest rates that have been so high, the job of economy, our jobs, we're not seeing that the local wages aren't keeping up with that. So it makes sense why we're seeing that inventory sit a little bit longer here in our local market. So why is it slowing down? You have so many buyers who are still coming to Idaho. I talk to so many buyers who are watching this channel who reach out and say, hey Greg, I saw your videos, we want to come to Idaho, or so-and-so point us to your YouTube channel, we watch your videos, we want to come to Idaho. So why is it slowing down if we have so many people who are coming still to Idaho? So what's going on? Why is the slowdown? Why aren't homes just still selling like crazy? Well, let me tell you and explain to you, and hopefully this will make sense to you as to why we're seeing the slowdown. So a lot of the slowdown that we're seeing right now is seasonal. We have shorter days, and school's back in. So now it's getting darker a lot earlier here in Idaho. So we have shorter days happening. We have the holiday season coming. So people's attention starts to go elsewhere other than house shopping. So already people are starting to think Thanksgiving, families coming to Thanksgiving. Are we going to families for Thanksgiving? What's happening? So that starts occupying people's mind. And the idea of house shopping during the holidays just isn't appealing to a lot of people. And so you have that cool down, that natural cool down. People start online shopping for Christmas gifts and presents and all that stuff. And the housing starts to become takes a little back burner approach to the internet search sites. That's why if you do any ad spend for advertising, if your realtor is advertising your home, they're gonna have to double and triple their ad spend in order to keep your house up on those top search sites. This is just, this is something that you should be asking. Look, this is a pro tip. I'm giving you a pro tip right now after 20 plus years of experience selling real estate. If you have a realtor and they have your house up for sale, you should have a conversation with them and ask them what their approach is to have your home featured on the top sites during the holidays, because so many companies are buying online traffic for shopping, Christmas shopping, holiday shopping. So your realtor needs to buy more ad spend or spend more money to keep your house showing at the top of the site to get buyers to come to your site. If you see a decline in online traffic to your site, maybe that's a conversation you have with your realtor and they say, hey, I'm noticing a decline. Are you keeping up with the ad spend? That's just a little inside tip for you. And if you're in the marketing world, you're in the sales world, you kind of in retail world especially, or online world, that's the case automatically. But just keep that in mind. If you're selling your home out of state, you're trying to get to Idaho, if your home is here right now in Idaho and listed with someone, maybe have that conversation going into the holidays. But I digress. So going into the holidays, people's minds are elsewhere. They're Christmas shopping. So they might not be looking for your house or may not be looking as aggressively for homes. And then of course you have the interest rates. Those interest rates are still high. And people are saying, well, gosh, do we afford this? Or, we got Christmas expenses coming up, we have vacations coming up, we're taking our family here for the holidays. So you start reallocating your financial budget for the end of the year. So now there's always circumstances, right? There's always people are always moving because of death, divorce, forced situations, all that stuff. But we're talking about people choosing to relocate here, choosing to move to Idaho, choosing to purchase a home. People who are choosing to do these things right now, they also have the choice to not do that. They also have the choice to go on vacation, buy a new car, do other things with their money during this season. So you just have to keep that in mind, that that's what's going on. That's why we're seeing this cool down going into those winter months. And we just people don't want to look at houses in the winter. It's cold, it's dark, it's wet, there is snow, so you kind of have that going against you as well. You also have buyers who are saying,
2025 was kind of like it wasn't the best year for interest rates. Maybe in 2026, interest rates will come down. Let's just wait and see what happens in 2026. Honey, let's just hold off. We're good where we're at. Maybe in 2026, the rates will come down. Then we can kick back up and start looking at houses.
Those are conversations that are happening right now across America. They're happening here in Idaho, and I'm sure they've maybe have come up in your house, but they've definitely come up in your state for sure, because I have had conversations with people who have had exact same questions for me. Greg, we've been talking about it. Should we buy now or should we wait to see if rates drop in 2026? So those are a lot of factors that can affect the cool down that we're seeing here in Boise. And so that's why if you have a house that you have to sell, we have to make sure that you are doing it correctly and you have the right agent for the job of selling your home, who's not afraid to push and get the home out in front of people. So what advice do I have for sellers who are thinking, man, Greg, this sounds terrible. This sounds terrible. I don't even want to sell my house. You're sounding like I'll never sell my house. Listen, don't panic. People still sell houses all the time. Let me give you a stat just to kind of give you some peace of mind. How many homes have closed this month, in the month of October, time of recording this video? Just so you know that even with this market cool down, how many properties have closed this month. So this month alone, if you are a seller, you should not fret. We've had 1,674 properties close in the month of October at time of recording. So what does that tell you? People are still buying. That's 1,674 families that have chosen to move into a new home despite the interest rates, despite it being cold outside, despite it being shorter days, despite it being the holidays coming up. So what do you do as a seller? What do you do if you're getting your house ready for the market? Well, you be smart. You price it right. You hire and interview realtors. You make sure that those realtors have a track record of selling homes. They know how to position your home. They know how to market. They know how to do all that. You, as a homeowner, have prepped your house. You've gotten it all ready. I've got videos about how you can do that. You've really taken the time to go through and you've ran the numbers. You have an idea. So when it comes to selling your home, you're not chasing the market down. You're coming in right where the market's at and you're holding. Now, you can choose to either offer incentives, you can choose to just hold firm because you're right where the market is. And where the market is, that's where the buyer activity is. So it's when you go high, when you come into the market, which every seller wants to do because you don't want to leave any dollars or pennies on the table. You want to collect everything, right? But what happens is when you don't get the showings, because the average home is only getting 3.4 showings per week right now, per week. So it's not per day like it used to be, or per hour like it used to be, it's per week. So the average house in Idaho is right around that 3.4 to 4 showings per week. So if you're priced right, you're gonna be showing more often. And so you have to keep that in mind, that if you're up high and you're not getting those 3 showings per week or those 4 showings per week, you're gonna start chasing that market down. As you chase the market down, the buyers who are waiting and looking at your house, they like it, they like the neighborhood, but they're just seeing how low you're gonna go before they come in and strike. Or they come in and look and kind of show that they're interested and then wait for you to make them a deal. Versus someone who just comes in right where that's a good value and your realtor knows it's a good value and you can make the deal happen. But don't jump in the game, then jump out of the game. Stay in the game, hold firm, do what you need to do, because if you are selling your home because you're trying to get to the next spot, stay in the game, because that next spot, you never know when that seller is going to reduce that price. Or if you are already building a home and you need to get your house sold, it's going to be worth it just to stay in the game and keep going. The come in, go out, come in, go out, that just never works when it comes. I mean, it does, but it's just like this, everyone's like, why do they come on the market, then they're off the market, and now they're priced? It's just weird. But just stay in the game. Serious buyers are still out there. They're on the sidelines and they're pre-approved and ready to go. We have some here at the Go Idaho team, and we always have buyers ready to go. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have a home that you're thinking, hey Greg, we want to get this on the market. Do you have anyone that's interested in taking a look at our house? Don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to tell you all about that. So what's the good news in all of this? Well, the good news is this slowdown is usually temporary. This winter slowdown is temporary. Smart sellers will use this time to position themselves, if they don't have to move right now, for spring. They'll spend their time working on their home, getting it ready, knowing that in the spring market, that's when they're gonna sell. So use this time, if you don't have to sell right now, use this time to get your house ready to get onto the spring market where we have a little bit more activity. Who knows if rates will be down? Who knows if rates will be up? We don't know. But let's just go with the fact that we hope the rates are down next year. And if they're down next year, man, we're gonna see a flurry of activity because we have so many qualified buyers in and coming to Idaho that are on the sidelines looking for your home. The question is, will your home be ready next spring? So listen, the Boise, Idaho market just blinked. Now it's taking a breather. If you wanna know how to strategically sell your house this winter, then reach out to myself at the Go Idaho team. I'd be more than happy to walk you through the process, take a look, build a game plan for you, kind of go through your equity position, see if you have the equity, see how much equity you'll have at the sale of it with today's number, see if it's even worth it for you to do it now or wait to the spring to sell then. I would love an opportunity to work with you. Again, my name's Greg Langham. We're in the Go Idaho team. Until next week, Go Idaho.